four of you are enjoying a very fun horror movie night at which house was it?
I think it was Stanley's, right?
Oh yeah, it was not my house. It's on Tufts University campus in our secret room that was long forgotten about in the Edward R. Morrow Center for a Digital Age in the Ginn Library.
Gotcha. So you're in the headquarters.
No, we're in the HQ, baby.
You're in the HQ. So you're watching. You're having a horror movie night at the HQ, and as you were tucking into, if memory serves from last week, Children of the Clorn, Fox got a weird text on their phone from a number that Fox didn't end up saving to their phone to begin with. And it was just a picture. It was all black except for two kind of floating blue dots. That's really all it was. And that, ding, ding, Fox, you took a look, you put it away, and the movie continues. So the four of you are enjoying Children of the Clorn and you've all now obviously been in the HQ a few times. So this is a fun place. Actually, let's Stanley, this is your place, but let's have Fox, Kit, and Bix each talk about something that they like about this place.
Oh, one of my favorite things about the headquarters is the popcorn machine that we all built together. It's a new addition.
Mm.
And sometimes we pour really unexpected flavors in it.
Nice.
Fox shouldn't be allowed to do it on their own, though,
because it could kill you. Yeah, that's a new rule. We don't have to say why we had to make it.
We learn from experience.
There is a piece of paper that says the rules on it, and that's on there.
Yeah, my favorite part of headquarters, although I've never used it, it's an old telephone with like a what is this called?
The rotary?
The circle you dial with. Yeah. There's a phone with a rotary in the middle of the room on a small round table. I've never seen Stanley actually make a call on it. But the rules are Stanley has to be the one to answer it. If the phone rings, we're not supposed to answer and say, "Hello, headquarters."
That's rule 2. That's rule number 2.
Is Stanley has to be the one to answer. It's also bright red, the bright red rotary telephone on a small table in the middle of the room.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the headquarters is that there are all these locked secret compartments that people keep storing information into and don't think that I can just break into it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My current favorite thing is I'm in a pillow fort because I'm scared out of my Stanley Handsomepants from this movie.
Yeah, so Stanley, this is this headquarters is a lot of things to you, and you realize with these friends, it's growing to be a lot of things to them as well. This is a place of safety and at times a place of comfort and solace, and so. Even though you are in your pillow fort being justifiably scared out of your wits because Children of the Clorn are terrifying movies, it is, there's maybe no other group in the world you would rather be this scared with.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the four of you are enjoying a movie and hanging out and being your usual selves.
I now present my list of who will die first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I'm about 5.65% sure that this will be the order of death for this movie.
Okay.
I thought you meant us.
Us. I thought you were talking about us.
Yes, the classic movie Deadpool. Everyone ante up.
Okay.
I take out several Blaseball cards, and I put them in the pot.
Hey Bix.
Yeah, Kit.
I'm short again. Could you?
Of course.
Data, don't.
I hand my entire pack to Kit.
Thanks, Bix.
Data. I'm gonna throw down my Glade Moon Blaseball card.
The holographic one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's serious business.
Oh goodness, the holographic season 9.
Fox has faith in their list, it seems.
Oof.
Data, do you have a card you want to throw down?
What's wrong, Data? I mean, Bix.
Well, I gave all my cards to Kit, but I have these hand-drawn cards that I made of all of the sunflowers.
What emotional value?
Yeah, that matches.
The
That's a
pot's
match.
right. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to be thinking about that picture a little bit because as much as I thought it was a butt dial, the 2 dots remind me of a data point. Specifically a data
and two dots does represent a trend, and you're not sure what exactly the trend you were looking at was.
Right.
Fox, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a picture earlier from an unknown phone number with 2 blue dots.
May I please see?
Here.
I'd like to read a bad situation.
Absolutely. 2d6 plus sharp, please.
9.
9. So with read a bad situation, the reason why it was read a bad situation instead of investigate a mystery is the second you looked at this phone, this wasn't just some random robo dial. This wasn't a some machine somewhere trying to sell your parents car insurance or anything like that. This was a single photo taken recently, and you looked at it, and this was concerning because who would have this number and who would send a photo? And so you immediately got justifiably bad vibes from it.
And Fox wouldn't look at something twice if they weren't concerned.
Indeed. So you can, with Read a Bad Situation, ask one of the questions from the Read a Bad Situation list. And also, because of your skull-mounted augmentations, you have a bonus question from the multi-tool list as well. So 2 total.
Are there dangers we haven't noticed?
Absolutely, there are. Yes. Specifically, and the more you look at it, the more you realize it's not just like floating blue dots. There's light coming from them, and that light is illuminating. And you can tell because you're you, and your eyes can see gradations of the spectrum better than anybody else. There are gradations of dark around it, and you can actually see that those blue dots are eyes, and the light coming from them is illuminating the top of a face. Like, you see a nose, you see like a forehead, you see like hair, and that's pretty much it. But it's this much of a face. So the danger you haven't noticed is that there is someone somewhere taking a photo of a person with glowing blue eyes somewhere incredibly dark. So that's a danger. There shouldn't be people walking around with glowing blue eyes. Usually that's a bad thing.
And I can ask one more?
From the multi-tool list.
What organization is operating here?
The Somerville Sunflowers. That number rings a bell to you. You have, unsurprisingly, a remarkably precise memory when it comes to numbers. They just tend to stick, whether it's in the circuitry or in the organic matter. You just have practically a photographic memory when it comes to numbers. The
Sometimes
organization
I see them when I'm trying to fall asleep.
The organization that's operating here is the Somerville Sunflowers. That was the phone number of Morgan Woodstock.
Fox,
Hmm?
this picture of the 2 glowing dots, that's someone. That's either a sunflower or a sunflower took this picture. And it doesn't feel right. Something's wrong.
Oh, I take the phone and I call it.
It immediately goes to voicemail.
Hi, this is Marissa. Leave a boop. Oh, nope, I meant Morgan.
Who the hell is Marissa?
I don't know. I think Morgan was playing a joke. Ugh.
Morgan.
It doesn't feel like a joke, Fox.
Can I see? Can I see the picture, please? That's very interesting. Very interesting. The HQ has an extensive lore library. I like to consult it because boy, do I like to spout lore and knowledge.
Yes, you do. We are in a perfect place for this.
Oh, something. Oh, something. I feel something tingling. Let me consult my tomes.
Okay, so you are now. So this is, this is a bad situation because you got a scary photo from someone. But now it's a little less scary. Well, that's a strong term. Now it's just a lot more mysterious. Why would Morgan Woodstock send just a photo?
Why would Morgan Woodstock send just a photo
of glowing blue eyes?
Of glowing blue eyes.
And what does it mean?
And what does it mean?
2d6 plus sharp, please.
Oh, well, 11.
Well, I'll be darned. So, yep, that would do it. You can now ask 2 questions from the investigative mystery list.
Oh boy. Where did it go?
All right. Now, all of this happens by way of a montage. So this isn't just an instant thing. The Children of the Clorn movie is playing. You are all watching it and paying as much or as little attention as you want, as Stanley is like walking around and going to old microfiche machines and cross-referencing it in old phone books and, queuing up a GPS satellite uplink and all of those things. And where did it go is this. You were thinking, okay, this is a photo of something. It's got to be tagged with a location because modern photos are. And so you start digging around in one of your books on coding, and you're able to find a way to download the image and pull the location. This was sent or taken from Highland Avenue in
This
Somerville.
was sent or taken in Highland Avenue in Somerville, Massachusetts.
Highland Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Fox, when did you get it? Just now?
Approximately 20 minutes ago.
What if it's a prank? Like one of those puzzle pranks.
That sounds fun.
What if they're in trouble?
Yeah. For my
That
other
feels
question, what sort of creature was it?
A human second base person.
Okay. It was a human second base person. You can tell by the furrow of the eyes. Wait a second.
Are you getting red, Stanley?
Yeah, you know that face.
It's Mindy.
Blush more.
I'm getting popcorn.
Stanley, maybe we should go see her.
We're gonna watch this movie.
She needs your help.
Yeah, maybe Mindy is pranking you.
Oh, I want to see that.
Stanley just flops to the side.
Come Come on, let's
Bix
get our
picks-
bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Let's
no,
just
no,
pick
no.
Stanley
Stan-
up
Come on.
behind the sweater and start
Stanley, this
dragging him.
This is our second horror movie tonight, and if we go, this will be the scariest thing you do all spooky season. Come on.
How dare you, Kit? How dare you? Also, let me down.
Oh,
I'll
will you
go.
not flap?
I'll
Okay.
go. What?
As long as you won't flop again.
I won't
Yeah, as
flop.
long as you
Fish.
won't flop.
Okay.
Don't flop.
Okay. Let me go.
It feels like you're flopping.
I'm not, because I'm being suspended in the air by my vest.
Oh, that's true.
I flop.
Okay, I pick up Stanley's pant ankle and I'll start to drag him down the hallway.
Okay. I got this is my grandfather's vest. He'd be mad if I got it dirty.
The Tufts University campus at this point it's evening
Yeah.
is really quite lovely, especially now that it's not overrun by carnivorous books or anything like that. There are students making their way to their night classes or leaving their last classes of the day and going to dinner. There's the smells of dining hall food, the laughter of students laughing at inside jokes. Some of the professors opted to teach some of their classes outside, which always seems like a good idea, but then they don't take into account the wind and stuff blows everywhere. So there are people like collecting physics notes that have been like blown across a field. And it's it's just kind of a nice night to walk across campus, and you all head to the nearest bike rack and hop on your bikes and off you go. You ride by, in point of fact, a familiar face to some of the Somerville sunflowers. The now animated metal elephant of Tufts University, Larjo, who, though it is clear Larjo is sentient and its own entity, Larjo also just feels incredibly comfortable here. And so they built Larjo a house right next to the plinth that Larjo was on for dozens of years since Larjo was molded. So, Larjo is currently out talking to a couple of students about something. And so you all ride by and wave, and Larjo kind of waves.
Do you ever wonder how Larjo came to be?
Yeah, I wonder how that happened.
I always
I
figured it
assume-
was like a university project or something.
I definitely don't know, and definitely wasn't there for that, and definitely didn't involve Zlobs.
Okay, so
We're gonna-
Stanley was
So it doesn't
definitely
have-
there and it
Yeah.
definitely involved Zlobs.
Oh, rotten tea bags! You caught me again.
Rotten tea bags.
Stanley, you have to get better at lying if you're going to try to do it so often.
We're gonna
I
put
was-
a pin in that because I need to know more information.
Okay, fine. There was some books that came to life, and then someone cast a big old spell and brought the thing to life. It was cool.
Was it Morgan?
Morgan was there.
Who
Was
brought
it
the books to
Mindy?
life?
That sounds like Mindy. She likes books.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Mindy Morgan. And I'm sorry. What did you say, Kit?
Who brought the books to life?
I don't know.
Okay.
I write some stuff in a notebook, and then I send a text message, and then, all right.
Okay. Well, we're on Highland. I'm not sure. Highland's a big road. I probably should have narrowed it down.
Yeah, you have some sense now as you ride, and you're trying to think of where this could possibly be, because it was the middle of the night, and it's still a little light, or perfectly dark, but it's a little light out. So you, you end up kind of riding around looking for a sign, really, something that makes sense, and the sign you see is, well, for a construction company. There's there's kind of a big sign, hazard construction site next to, this great big fence with green mesh around it. And there's a construction crew working. So at minimum, they might know something. But yeah, Highland Ave's a big road. So it might be around here. It might be elsewhere. But this is as good a place to start as any.
I imagine that they probably would have noticed the infield tromping around. They're not very discreet.
Yeah.
No, they are not.
I'll go talk to them.
Okay, be careful. They're adults.
You got this, Kit.
It's okay. I can talk to adults.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, you kind of walk up to the fence, and there's a gate in it, and the gate is closed but not locked. And you either mill around or knock, whatever is appropriate. And there are a bunch of people there wearing yellow hard hats. There's one person wearing a white hard hat, and that person walks up to you and kind of peers through the gate at you. Hey, hello, can I help you?
Hey, I'm just looking for a few of my friends. I think they came by this way.
What do they look like?
Okay, yeah, one of them is kind of got sort of a chaotic look in his eyes, and he always wears sunglasses. Another one of them looks really tough, kind of intimidating, but very a kind look about her. And angel wings that are made of brass. And another one of them looks kind of chill, looks kind of cool, and she wears a beanie most of the time, and also she sort of sends like sparks sort of out from her sometimes. And then the last one has big glasses, big eyes, big knife, and just sort of a weird, just sort of general weirdness, kind of hard to talk to. Does that sound familiar?
As Kit says that, I lean over to Stanley and say, "Does that sound familiar, huh, Stanley?"
Shut up.
All right, Kit. So this is going to be up to you here.
I think it's cool she doesn't blink.
Oh yeah, the small one doesn't blink. Forgot about that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that might be a helpful detail.
Yes. So I'm going to let you really choose here. You can either roll 2d6 plus charm to parlay to convince this person to tell you something, or you could roll 2d6 plus sharp and just try to sense his motives when he lies to you.
Okay, I'm not the sharpest, but I think that would be more useful, so I'm going to go with 2d6 plus sharp to get a general vibe.
All right, roll it.
8.
Yeah, pretty good. So there are two things that immediately kind of bubble up to the surface of this is strange. One, he's, very kind of actively listening and okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, never blinks. Oh, okay. Oh, a beanie. That's interesting. And then the second you say, so have you seen them? He pauses for a remarkably long time. Like, literally, it's like, oh, interesting. So have you seen him? And right before he answers, there's this little, like a cloud passing before the sun, just this waft of blue across his eyes. And then he immediately says, nope.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And that's all you. Okay, got it. Thank you for your help. What was your name?
Oh, Ben McMahon, foreman at this here site.
Ben McMahon, the foreman. Got it.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay, thank you, Ben McMahon. Have a lovely evening. I'm just going to head back to my group.
Okay.
Kid, that was so good. You're so good at talking to adults.
Thanks.
And as
That
you're
guy
walking
lied
away,
to
he
me.
kind of opens up the fence gate a little bit. All you kids should consider a trade. It's a great career. Union work, good union work. And then he closes the gate again.
Thanks, Ben McMahon.
I write that down.
What did
Good
you learn?
union work.
So that guy was big time lying to us.
All right, so we should totally like blow the side of the gate open and sneak in, right?
I'm sorry, that's a contradiction. How do you blow open something and then sneak in?
Blow a hole into it.
The whole blow verb here is indicating that it might be really loud.
Listen, when I asked if he'd seen them, he paused for a really long time, and then something weird happened to his eyes before he said no. It looked like something maybe involving magic of some kind.
Oh.
Hmm.
I think I might be able to get us some more information.
How?
Oh yeah?
What's that?
From
Ada?
Ben. I'll be right back. I'd like to go talk to Mr. McMahon and ask him if tell him that I want to try to get him to take me around the site so I can observe it and try to gather some more information. And I think I might know how to do that.
Okay. Yeah. 2d6 plus charm to parlay. -1 because Ben McMahon is very, very invested in keeping everyone else out of the site.
Even if they have an interest in pursuing a trade and like to be an apprentice for the day?
Even if.
Whoa. Yeah, we should quickly form a union.
Okay.
A 9.
Hey, not bad. So you head back and you knock and oh, hello again.
Good evening.
You're a different kid. Hello.
I heard that you are promoting construction as a trade, and I'm very interested and was wondering if you could take me on as an apprentice for the evening and show me around your construction site in order to convince me to join a union and go into trade work like you.
Well, construction isn't just a single trade. Construction is many trades all knitted together under some grand important disciplines.
That's like me.
Yeah, terrific.
I'm many things knitted together.
All right. Well, that's great. So I think you understand the philosophy of it. As far as seeing the place tonight.
I punch him.
In a hey, all right, buddy kind of way, or a I want to do some damage to your face kind of way?
Oh, just to kind of stun him a little bit.
Good. Well, tonight's not good, but if you want to come back tomorrow, well, we can give you a tour of all of the machinery, and I could arrange some speakers with our master plumber and our architect.
That sounds great.
Terrific. We are here as early as 6 a.m., but you should come by around 8.
8 a.m. Okay. I'll be here. I head back to the group.
Vix, that definitely looked like some kind of magic happening.
Yeah, it was magic when Data punched him right in the face.
That was
I can't
really
believe
good.
I did that.
That was so bold.
It was like his brain was buffering.
Yeah, I just thought that maybe in the moment I could not hurt him, but just kind of get him to be a little stunned and pushed to the side so we could go through without having to create a commotion.
Hmm.
On that note, by the
I-
way, both of you now, like Kit and Bix, both of you have seen, like the gates open. You looked inside, and Stanley and Fox, you presumably have poked your eyes through like one of the holes in the green mesh or something. But you all got kind of a pretty good lay of the land in there. There are probably a dozen people in there, a dozen workers, hard hats, vests, engaging in. Well, they're not engaged in different things at all. They're all engaged in the same thing, which is specifically the gathering and organizing of stones.
Stone.
Wait a second.
I've
You
never
said they
seen
were.
construction like that.
You said they were union.
Mm-hmm.
I checked the local union bylaws and the local 503 constructors unions. They're supposed to be done by now.
They are supposed to be done by now,
Well, that's
unless
how
they were given
construction
two
always
lunches,
is, right?
which you don't think they were.
No, you can tell by the amount of trash or the lack thereof.
Okay, listen, Stanley, remember how you said before that we should all join a union?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think the four of us should form a union right now. Now, I'm just very beginner level at magic, but I think if the four of us were to all cast a ritual together, I might be able to identify what kind of magic is going on here.
Oh, I love when we do this. Yes. I take off my backpack, which is which is in the shape of like a glade moon, which is like a long dragon, and like oh boy. I take out the big tome. I take out the chalk used to chalk up the pentagrams needed. I take out the candles. Oh, I love this part.
Oh, thanks, Stanley. You really shouldn't take this stuff from my house, but I'm actually really glad you have it with you now.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So ritual magic, Kit, is something. Now, everyone in Blittle League, because you all live in a magical world, is vaguely aware of ritual magic. In point of fact, when you get to high school and everyone there is super cool, there's a class on ritual magic that you take along with chemistry and physics and geometry and algebra and everything. But
wait, and we're in front of the high school, right?
yeah, you are.
Oh, we should we should go in to the high school and use one of the classrooms.
Yeah, the classroom where they teach, kind of arcane art, which is, it's a thing. The issue, of course, is that Blittle Leaguers are just better at it than everybody. And Kit is very good at like Kit knows more about this than Blittle Leaguers. Like all of you are aware that ritual magic is a thing. But Kit is very good and very knowledgeable and very practiced. And Fox, one thing you've noticed, but you've been trying to figure out when exactly to bring it up, is that Kit carries a tattoo. And that tattoo is the same tattoo you've seen in the compound of your new friends in Salem.
Right.
Maybe someone else amongst Stanley and Bix have seen it too and may know something about what that is, but I don't know. All I know for sure is that Fox knows what it is. Do with that information what you will. But yeah, if you want to break into the Somerville High School and use the kind of the arcane history classroom to do this, I won't even you don't even need to roll. I could say you get in there and can use it, or you find a field nearby to cast a ritual. Whatever you think would work best for flavor.
I think let's go to the high school classroom because they might have some materials that I don't have on me that might make this easier.
They definitely do. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff to make this easier. So what's good is the weird materials part of what you. So essentially, this ritual is this ritual would require 3 things: weird material, ritual chanting, and lots of gestures. And the weird materials is now off the table. You are in a classroom under fluorescent lights in Somerville High School, and all the desks are cleared to the side, and you're building a ritual in the middle. So now really all you need is ritual chanting and lots of gestures.
Great. I can lead everybody through that.
Cool. So what is the effect that you want this ritual spell to have?
I'm going to learn what kind of magic is going on inside the construction site and who it's affecting and how.
Got it. Sounds good. So this is going to be 2d6 plus weird for ritual magic.
I'm going to do my best to pretend or hide the fact that I know all these rituals.
Yeah, this is stuff that you have learned very recently. But you're trying to act surprised. What'd you get, Kit?
That's a 9.
All right, pretty good. I will let you choose the complication. The complication is one of 2 things. One, other magic users nearby are aware that a ritual has happened. Or 2, the thing that is using the magic is aware that a ritual has happened.
I think other magic users in the area are aware that a ritual has happened.
Gotcha. Let's talk about those other magic users for a second. So, Kit, you were, an active initiate in the Order of the Mound out in Phoenix.
Yes.
And out in Phoenix, it was fairly straightforward. It was, the Order of the Mound was a secret society, but at the same time, it was also kind of like, the local Rotary Club or the Better Business Bureau. They were a secret society, but they were very public. Generally, the Order of the Mound has, back where you are, they do a lot of good works, especially places where there is not Blittle League coverage.
Yeah.
The Order of the Mound, can engage in things like building arcane defenses for rural towns and stuff like that.
Yeah, the order was secretive, but not a secret.
Exactly. Like you could call a number and someone would answer. But in terms of what they did and the levels of it, you've only kind of scratched the surface, and even the surface is pretty powerful. So kind of what they do beyond simply the public good is much unknown. But in your experience, positive but serious. Out here, though, you don't know yet. So this is going to be a big fun question moment, Kit. When you moved out here, there is not an Order of the Mound in Somerville. There's not a Somerville chapter. The nearest chapter is further north. And so the question is the Order of the Mound chapter that you belong to here, or you are in contact with here, located in Salem or located in Concord?
I'm located in Concord.
Gotcha. Your contact, by the way, in Concord, the person that is responsible for your training, is someone named Ms. Galbraith, who is a very accessible, very earnest person who believes the mission. Also, in her own way, like the most glamorous person you've ever seen. Like, very down to earth, very accessible, but also, like, you look at this like, do all adults dress like that? Why don't all adults dress like that? Like, Miss Galbraith has everything figured out. So,
yeah, Miss Galbraith is why we moved here.
Yes, her reputation.
She's an old friend of my aunt's too.
Reputation for training initiates is outstanding.
Yep.
I have a question. Is it Concord, Massachusetts, or Concord, New Hampshire?
Concord, Mass. Anyway, Miss Galbraith doesn't know what you're doing. At this time, Fox, you get a text message on your phone.
All right, I need to take a phone call.
Mm-hmm. Fox, you go take that phone call. Do you want to do it on camera or off?
Off.
Of course. So the ritual is successful. Here is what you find, Kit.
Yeah.
And technically, because everyone's involved in the ritual, Stanley and Bix, you're able to... It's like you're overhearing a conversation and you can get every third word, whereas Kit gets all of it, but you can kind of follow along. The magic that is happening just over there at the construction site, a block from the high school, is a magic that enhances charisma and charm to beyond natural levels. Whoever is the practitioner of this magic, and you're pretty sure it's not a spell that was just cast just now, you're pretty sure this is a type of magic that has been suffused into somebody. Like the person that is at the center of this, the person that is affecting this magic on these construction workers, is either wearing something that is coursing with an enchantment, or they have done something to themselves in which this permanent enchantment exists in them. And what that enchantment is, an enchantment of incredible charm.
What was the information?
There's some kind of the people in the construction site. Are they themselves now very, very charming, or they have been influenced by some sort of charming magic?
They've been influenced by a charming person. It's to the point where it's almost mind control, but it's not. It's not like someone waved a hand and said, you will never smoke again. It's as if someone looked someone else in the eyes and with 3 minutes of perfect word choice convinced someone to never smoke again, despite the physical pain of not. So
everybody in the construction site, they're under somebody's influence, a very, very strong influence. And it seems like it's sort of laid dormant for a while, or maybe been sealed inside something, and maybe they happened upon it, or released something. They messed with something, and now they're all kind of under a spell.
So you're saying if we present charisma stronger than this, then we could get them to be on our side and break the almost spell. I got just the thing.
You do have just the thing, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Sure. Preparedness. That's a heck of a spell. 2d6
what do you
plus
have?
sharp, please.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to find out. It is plus sharp, a 9.
Okay. Essentially, if you're looking for something that possesses magical charm, like intense, serious magical charm, the most powerful stuff like that you're looking for are arcane artifacts. Like you can't just like slug back a potion. Like the power of the influence is such that you would need something equal to it. The thing you are pretty sure. Well, what is the actually chat? Let me ask you. What is an item, an artifact that, should the possessor hold it or carry it, would give them supernatural charm, influence, and charisma? So while the chat figures it out, I will tell you where it is. It is located in Harvard University's collection of historical arcana.
Great. Yeah. So
Harvard?
yeah, it's over on the Harvard campus and its collection of magical artifacts, arcane artifacts.
There is something there called the Cravat of Swagness.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Cravat of Swagness.
What's a cravat?
Well, it's like a tie, but it's like the precursor to a tie. It's a cool little fold thing. If you ever seen like the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr., I think they're wearing cravats.
All
Or,
right.
or my favorite show, Downton Abbey. They all wear those there, and we gotta watch that one day. It's a good show.
I've
Good
heard it's
show.
very bloody.
Yeah, that's why it's a good show.
Okay, we'll go get the thing, Stanley. But the one rule is that you have to be the one to wear the cravat.
No, don't do that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure you have to be.
Only one of us has the appropriate top to wear a cravat anyway.
It's
and
true.
you know
I
it.
do wear a collared shirt all the time, just in
Yeah, plus-
for just the situation.
Well, if you see Mindy.
Shut up! I storm out, beet red.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so you all trundle as a team to Harvard University. Now, Harvard University, you all, in point of fact, were there only recently playing. It was not last week's game because that was.
Oh, it was so much
amazing.
fun. It was so much fun.
The game you played against the South Boston Snapdragons at Fort Independence, absolutely wild. Kit,
Yeah.
you pitched brilliantly. There were sword fights. There were cannons full of fireworks. It's hundreds of people watched. It was awesome. Like
Best game of the year. Best game of the year.
Yeah, it was the best game ever, probably.
I'm not even mad we lost.
And it was one of those things where, about halfway through the game, only halfway, you all looked at each other and you said, no matter what, this is one of the seminal moments of our childhood. We need to be present. We need to enjoy this. Fox, dare I say, you almost forgot yourself for a moment. You fully embraced being a kid and the wonder and magic of youth. And it was so amazing that anyone that laid eyes on this game would be forever changed by how cool it was. But anyway, that was last week's game. This was the game before. You were over at the Ivy. And Harvard's a great big campus. It's very spread out. There are a lot of greens, beautiful old buildings, ivy everywhere. And the University Collection of Historical Arcana is a museum in one of those buildings. So the building itself is, it's like a big academic building. And it's now later into the evening, and it is locked. So before we kind of get into what you're doing, the things you observe are, there are students around here. There are custodians in these buildings. There are people playing ultimate frisbee, though it's getting pretty dark. The campus is buzzing with activity, but the door you need to walk through to get into the building in which the university's collection of historical arcana is, you need an ID swiper.
All right, Stanley, this is what I mean by blow the door open and sneak in. And I'm going to use science.
Yep.
Stanley, I have the chemical compound, of which you probably know as COH920, which, of course, as you know, it takes away all of the things that bond elements together, so that what you're essentially left with is a very, almost like a false door that when you press it, it turns into a gust of wind.
What?
Yeah, it's just science.
I'm going to back away so you don't use that near me.
I'm going to back away
I
too.
don't want to hurt my friends.
Don't
On
touch
my
this. Don't touch this chemical data.
So now let's do a little rules clarification here. So for science, you have, all of your science effects. For big science, you have pretty much everything else in existence. So if you want to go with the big science for this, you can, or that effect could be replicated with regular science. Like if your goal is to get through this door, either melting something small or freezing something small with this chemical compound that makes it look like things burst into a cloud is totally fine.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing, just around like the circuitry and the doors so that we can push it open.
Perfect. 2d6 plus cool, please.
Okay. And
Oh, it's a cool stat.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
that's a 7.
That's a 7. Okay, so this is science, meaning you are selecting an effect. It'll either be a melt or a freeze, whichever is most theatrically appropriate, I would imagine. But you choose the drawback. Take a -1 on all future science checks. It works too well, or it draws unwelcome attention, or puts you in a tight spot.
It works too well.
It really, truly does. So you apply this compound to a to the circuitry, and you all back up, and now you're expecting the circuitry to kind of sizzle away and kind of burst into steam, and the door swings open light as a cloud. But this stuff is an incredibly potent dose, and you're not sure if it's Harvard's security systems or the fact that this is an incredibly potent dose. But you kind of put it on the magnetic card swiper and just watch and wait, and all of a sudden the power in the entire building turns off.
Uh-oh.
Amazing.
Nice.
Scribble some notes.
So the door is definitely open, but it's a dark building.
I take out my flashlight. Let's go. Find your croissant, Stanley.
Lead the way.
It's a cravat. It has
What I said.
It's the cravat of Swagness, named after Fitzpatrick Swagness.
All right, I'm looking for Fitzpatrick Swagness on these chrome plates, on these bronze plates.
Yeah.
Sure. So because the lights are out in here, you pretty much the people you are dealing with in here is really just kind of the custodian staff, and in a few minutes, a fire truck. So, the students and faculty that were still in this building at this late hour all kind of leave, guiding their way out with the lights on their cell phones. There are a couple of custodians in here with flashlights that you are able to easily avoid. And you make it down to, it's kind of this underground atrium that's also protected by a heavier door, but that door cannot stop you all. And you
good. That door knows its place.
It does. It's and so you walk into this essentially underground grotto, museum, amphitheater-y looking thing with the big sign, the Collection of Historical Arcana. Now, the things in here are protected in glass boxes, and you're pretty sure they are alarmed. The only question is whether or not the alarms turned off with the rest of the building, or if they're on a different supply. You all make your way to that thought at the same time via different roads. But there are a number of really interesting artifacts here, and there are all these, these plates up that kind of describe what they are. And you all kinds of stuff. There are 3 things that are of particular note. One is a cane head, a metal cane head, but no cane attached to it. And it says cane head, donator Armistice Pierce family collection. And it explains that the cane head itself is in the Pierce family. Armistice Pierce, longtime Harvard faculty, generous donation. Its effects are unknown, but arcane scholars believe it is one of the most potent enchantments ever seen on a mundane item. That's one. Two, and you only notice it because it's so out of place here. It's one of the few weapons here. Is a cavalry sword, a Confederate cavalry sword on display from someone named Major Conrad Cooper. And so you're drawn to it because it's a sword, and what kid doesn't like cool swords? And the other is the plaque describes this person in the most explicitly foul and demeaning terms you have ever seen written on a brass plate. War criminal against humanity.
They use two brass plates to include all this.
Yeah, there was a plate and then a smaller plate. And it's just a litany of curses heaped upon this former Confederate officer. And it describes this sword as being in possession of you don't know what it means when it says essence, but it's essentially describing the essence of the evil of the man. So that's the second interesting thing in here.
Evil.
And then the third thing is the cravat of swagness, which is sitting on a bust. Donated from the estate of Fitzpatrick Swagness, regarded as one of the great enhancers of influence. It is there is, in point of fact, a constitutional amendment in the U.S. Constitution to talk about unnaturally enhancing your influence and how that is an absolute crime and something that robs the liberty of people. So essentially, it is on display as evidence of its power, but you're actually not supposed to wear the thing because it causes undue influence over people, and that's very bad. So there it is.
Have you all noticed that all the things in this part of the museum are from bad guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the villains of our time wing.
Oh.
It's subjective, but sure.
Probably pretty dangerous, some of these items.
Oh, definitely. Oh, the thing we're getting is very dangerous. It caused a U.S. constitutional amendment.
Wow.
Number 11 and a half.
Yeah, they snuck it in.
Yeah.
Stanley,
Well, we ought to be really, really careful with this stuff.
100%.
are
Yes,
you?
Fix?
Do you feel confident that if you put on the cravat, that you can handle it? It seems
That I would fall under his thrall and myself become possessed?
Yeah, that does sound like something Stanley would do.
Then why don't you wear it, Kit?
Nope, you gotta wear it, Stanley, but be careful. It's really dangerous. I'm wrapping my handkerchief around my fist. I'm gonna punch through the glass.
Okay.
All right, Kit, pure luck roll here. 2d6 plus. I'll give you tough because you're punching through glass. This is just you have no problem punching through glass. You're tough. You're wearing a leather jacket, so you're probably not going to hurt yourself.
Yep.
So this is really just a question of, are the alarms off or are they on a backup power system?
Great. I'm not adding tough. This is just
I'll
a
give
luck
you the
roll
tough.
for the alarms.
He's really tough.
6.
Those alarms are on. So
Those alarms are on, baby.
Just quick. And then immediately piercing the darkness and piercing the silence is just flashing red lights and loud, obnoxious alarms.
All right, here's your croissant, handsome pants. You better run.
Okay. Oh goodness. How do you tie this? I quickly
Tie
go to
it
YouTube.
outside, I think.
Okay,
Tie it
okay.
outside.
Someone go to YouTube. How to tie a cravat.
Okay. Cravat. And so you're all like sprinting out of the building.
Mhm.
You head out of this wing and you run through a hallway.
Real quick.
There is a custodian here. Like as you round the corner, there's a custodian with a big flashlight and holding a broom. Hey, what's this? What's going on here?
Your
We lost our mom and dad. We're trying to find them.
Kit 2d6 plus charm, please. I'll give you a -1 because there are currently alarms going off.
7.
Partial success is this custodian kind of looks at you and starts. He's not going to try to apprehend you, but he is instead starting to call the police on his phone.
Sounds like we better get out of here.
I release my defensive goo on him, right directly toward the phone.
Data.
Okay. I'm going to say this is a kick some butt roll. 2d6 plus tough.
12.
All right. So yeah, you just arm out, kind of servo multi-tool opens up like jet of defensive goo. The entire phone is now covered in goo.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Mercifully, here are the things that you avoided: covering his airways with the defensive goo, or harming yourself, or starting some kind, or like freezing a door. Like, do not shoot defensive goo into people's faces.
Mm-mm.
But mercifully, perfect shot, just aces. So yeah, like the phone is now gooed up, a little spark shoots out of it, and it's just stuck in his hands.
Just soap and water,
Lovely.
sir. When you get home, just soap and water. No
Thank
chemicals.
you, but stop! And you all went out of there.
Well
Is he
done,
really
Data.
Is he really stuck?
The phone is definitely stuck in his hand, and he's trying to pry it out.
Is he stuck in place too?
No, well, it's up to Bix. Bix rolled a 12.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah,
just one shoe. It just kind of drips down to one shoe.
Yeah, the jet of, or if
You'd
you
have to
want,
get
the
a
jet
shoe
of defensive goo hit him in the hand, and then his hands to the wall,
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
stuck
that's-
just like that.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah,
Bix.
very precise. So yeah, the poor guy's stuck to the wall, but is not calling the police and cannot at this point interfere with your doings.
Bix,
Yeah, Kit.
do you think someone as bad and evil as the plaque said that Cooper guy was deserves to have his sword in a nice museum?
Are you thinking about destroying it?
I just know my aunt loves this museum. It's a special place to a lot of people. It's a pretty evil sword for a nice place.
That's true, but if we took it, it would be a big risk if we didn't know that we could destroy it completely. At least here it's safe from everyone but Blittle Leaguers.
Fox, do you think you could destroy an evil sword?
I'm about 50-point-something% sure. I have to do the math.
50 point something, so that's more than half, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
I look at Stanley Handsomepants.
I don't feel good.
There's only one way to find out. It's worth trying.
I'm gonna grab the sword.
Thankfully, the alarm isn't going off anymore. Yeah, you pull out. Okay. The second you touch it, something happens. 2d6 plus weird, please.
4.
All right. Okay. You're gonna take an immediate 2 harm.
Okay.
You grab this thing and you think it's cold. Not just cold, but so cold that it hurts your hand. And then you realize it is not in fact cold. even though now your arm is numb from the elbow down. But this thing is so densely packed with badness that it makes you physically sick to hold it with your bare hand. You're, in fact, dizzy when you're holding it. You feel terrible about the world when you're holding it. Your arm is numb now. You end up like wrapping it, like you wrap it with something, like a
I'll put
flag
it
nearby or something. But
I'll slide it into the sheath next to my fighting stick.
yeah, there you go. So you put it in there, and even having it on you is bad, but it is not actively hurting you now. So you run out, join the rest of everybody, and perfect. And you run outside. There are Harvard security starting to like swarm into the building. And you run out and you start running towards your bikes. And standing in front of your bikes are Rifle Valentine, Canterbury Chill, and Alice Malice, 3 players from the Cambridge Carnations. Canterbury Chill walks forward. Alice Malice, actually. Why not? Alice Malice walks forward, like spinning a key on her finger. A real old key. Hey, sunflowers.
Hey.
Carnations.
Alarm went off. We came here to check it out.
We're doing nothing except destroying precious artifacts belonging to evil people.
Nice. But what are you doing around here? Seriously.
We were just on a walk in the area and we heard the alarm going off. So we wanted to make sure that Little Leaguers got here in time to face any threat to the community.
Awfully kind of you to be in our neck of the woods. We figured we'd be the first people here. I live just down the street.
Well,
yeah, well, we were trying to grab milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
You were here grabbing milkshakes, or you were here checking out the alarm?
Well, we were getting milkshakes first, and then we came for the alarm.
Right.
Alice Malice's arms kind of go slack, and she drops her key. Canterbury Chill and Rifle Valentine both like straighten up and look you, Stanley, right in the eyes. Big smiles on their faces. Oh, that makes sense. They're great milkshakes in Cambridge. Y'all have a nice night. And the 3 of them run off.
I don't feel...
Okay, that was scary.
I don't feel good.
Do it again.
Stanley's just pale.
Stanley.
Yeah, you don't like that.
Take it off. Until we get back to when you need it again.
Give it to me.
I think I like it on. I want to keep it on. It looks good on me.
Okay.
Bix, it looks good on me.
All right.
Bix, looks great on him.
Looks really good on you. It looks... You should wear that every day.
You have never been more sure of anything in your life, Bix.
Okay.
Stanley, were you born with that on?
Surprisingly, no.
Listen, we should all get back to the construction site to save our teammates.
Did you not want to destroy that artifact? Or would you like to do that another time?
I think let's get Stanley to the construction site and then get him out of that cravat first.
No, just to the construction site. And then he can keep it on. because it's beautiful.
Data. You're so affected. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go quick.
Yeah, you go quick. Stanley, you don't like this. And Kit, you're carrying a sword that every time it accidentally bumps against your foot on the rear pedal, you get a pang of deep bone shaking malaise. But yeah, y'all get there, and it is now very late at night, and the construction crew is still working. You kind of all peer through the fence. All of them have not taken any breaks. All their trash and lunch bags and stuff are in the exact same spot. Only now they're starting to rough out the foundation of something circular. They're laying unmortared stone in a circle.
This is definitely past double overtime. They would need at least 3 lunch breaks for this.
Stanley, why don't you tell them to take a break?
Yeah, do the thing again.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Right. Before you say anything, here's how this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only thing that is as strong as the magic that is swaying them, which means this is going to be a roll.
Great.
This is the literal only thing. So this is the roll. But excuse me, and everyone just pops up and turns and looks at you.
Oh. Hi.
Hello, they all say.
We would like to come in because we're union.
2d6 plus charm, please.
Oh, I'm not charming. Oh, 4.
Uh-oh.
All right. Okay.
That's the best you had, Handsomepants. We are union.
We are union?
I thought it was very good.
I'm gonna give you a choice, Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna put it to you this way. You are all very powerful Blittle Leaguers.
Mm-hmm.
But also these are a dozen adults with power tools. So what that means is you're going to get 2 options, and there is a third option, but that third option is, I'm going to save it because of what I just mentioned. Option 1 is the second you say that, the construction workers open the gates, drag you all inside, and put you in the middle of whatever they're building. 2, they bar the gates and put people out there to guard them. Those are the 2 kind of reasonable options here.
Mm-hmm.
The third is if you try to force your way in. And the reason why I kind of list that as the third option is this. There is no way, given the magic that is influencing their minds, that if you try to force your way in, people will not die.
So?
Option 3.
To be sure, you are willing to engage in lethal combat with these people.
Stanley is ruthless.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Who here wants to get into a fight?
If Stanley tells me I have to.
You Bix have the option of whether or not that comes to pass. So, Stanley, you want this to happen, but you don't want to fight, which means that you're kind of unleashing Fox upon them. Okay. All right. Fox, what exactly do you want to do?
The main thing I want to do right now is I want to just block everybody's vision. Yeah, I don't actually want to kill people. I just want to block people's vision.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is going to be some magic here. Or by magic, I mean this is probably going to be big science.
Okay.
So, like Fox, you kind of look at Stanley, and like you know that they are not swayed, and Stanley is about to be like, okay, well, it's now time, and you. For whatever reason it is, whether it's a text you get in that moment, whether it's your own moral compunctions, whether it's something else entirely, that's between you and the fates.
Yeah, I do the math.
You decide to not blow these men apart.
No.
You instead create a big science effect. 2d6 plus sharp, please.
All right. 9.
9. So it absolutely works. And the drawbacks, I'll just give you one, actually. I'm feeling generous. The drawbacks are this. Whatever happened, the results of this will be traced back to you. So you kind of all, it's like they kind of lock arms, and they're like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And you all make a big show of being like, okay, and you all leave, and that, Fox, is when you like start taking a bunch of stuff out of your coat and your vest and sending a couple of folks into the high school to grab stuff from the science lab. And you end up creating, well, what does this look like, this vision obscuring situation?
So this is something I've talked about with Stanley, Kit, and Bix before. It's a chemical compound that once I throw it, it like sort of it kind of like mildly erodes the eyes. But because of a pill that I gave you all earlier, it does not erode yours. It's not permanent, but it does obscure your vision in sort of an invisible way.
Yeah. It's pretty advanced science when you think about it. Mm-hmm. And so, you kind of create this and you like aerosolize it, and you kind of get it into a canister and thunk, kind of launch it over the wall. And yeah, this thing that looks like a coffee can kind of hits the ground, and this reaction happens. And all of the people here are kind of continuing their work, and they don't necessarily realize that something is wrong. Far be it from them to know that they really can't have any functional vision beyond 5 feet for the next little while. And so, Fox, you cool as a cucumber, and just strut your way back to the gate, swing it wide open, and just walk right on by them. And it is at around that moment that everyone else comes with.
Well, we headed out.
Is it working?
Yeah. I wave at one of them. Hello.
Yep. Whoever you are waving at is currently shaping a stone with a mason's trowel. You see the game? Yeah, I saw the game was pretty good.
Okay. Should we investigate what they're building?
Yeah. We should go.
Quietly.
Yeah, you all, and this is the weird part because you're walking like right by them. You walk, and they're building. If you're to kind of math it out, they're starting to build this little curved wall, and you realize that just the dimensions of it mean they're building some kind of circular stone thing. Is it going to be like a circular stone wall, above ground swimming pool, big circular tower? You don't know yet because it's only, a couple of stones high and only a semicircle. But that looks like what they're building. They're building it around a hole. And at the bottom of the hole is, it's strange down there. It's like a fairly deep hole, maybe 8 or 10 feet deep. And at the bottom is kind of like packed down dirt, but it's a different color.
When I notice that it's a different color, I want to stand very still and just fixate use my augmentation to my skull, just sort of fixate on the soil and the stones around it to try to just get a little more information about what I'm looking at.
2d6 plus sharp, please, to investigate a mystery.
10.
You can ask 2 questions from the list.
What is being concealed?
What is being concealed is a hollow beneath it, a room, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the
What
vibrations of the ground, you think there's
here?
movement in there, or
There's
maybe
movement
people
here.
or something.
What happened
Change
here?
of temperature at minimum. What's the other question?
What happened here?
Now, this is the part that really only you can do. You're just examining the soil and the tread marks and where excavators are going. And what is very clear is that a group of people, small people, maybe sunflower-sized people, went into the bottom of this crypt and did not come out, and then they threw rocks and dirt on top of it.
Our teammates have been buried alive.
What?
Under there.
Data? Really?
Morgan and Mindy, and I assume the rest of the infield are underneath that pit.
Are they alive?
As of now, I believe so.
We gotta get them out.
One of the spells I already know is allows me to observe a place. Can I try and look through the dirt to observe the place underneath the ground where the infield is?
And in fact, I don't think we need to even roll it. I'm going to give you this one for free. You kind of steady yourself and kind of gather together the power and cast this, and it's almost like a kind of like a smoky ring forms in front of you, and you almost see like an X-ray into the ground because you're looking at something right here. Just the strangest little room. Darby and Mindy are asleep, like sitting against a wall surrounded by books and pamphlets. Zlobs is sitting cross-legged on what is clearly a coffin. And Morgan is currently trying to recharge her phone with little blasts of electricity from her finger.
Oh.
Why are we always rescuing the infield?
Because
They're in there.
Because they do a lot of really dangerous things, Fox.
Yeah, they're pretty reckless.
And brave. Like us.
All right. Well, if we go in down there, everyone has to wear a hard hat. Union rules.
Union rules. Hard hats on.
All right.
Yeah, let's have one of you, whichever one of you is feeling lucky, just give me a 2d6 plus tough to kind of clear the dirt. To clear the dirt without making too much noise.
Oh, I can do that. 10.
Hey, you clear the
Told
dirt
you.
without too much noise.
Nice.
So yeah, just the folks are all above you. They're all talking and very banally about breakfast tomorrow and finding the right stones and what's happening in Blaseball. And you're just like quietly, digging a hole and moving dirt. And the the second one of the stones kind of comes away, and there's a hole. There's just kind of this burst of hot air.
That's a body odor.
Yeah, that's a tiny little wrinkle of body odor.
Also decomposition.
Yes,
The
and
type of body odor.
That's even worse.
True.
like Morgan kind of like looks up immediately and is about to say something. Did you get my phone picture?
Yeah, we got your picture.
That's why we're here.
Rope.
Rope.
Stanley,
Yeah,
do you have rope?
of course I have rope. Take out my rope.
Call up the others, Morgan.
Mindy, Darby, wake up. The shadows rescued us again. And then you hear Zlobs stage screaming, "If I get off the coffin, then Conrad Cooper's gonna kill me."
Conrad Cooper?
Conrad Cooper.
That name sounds really familiar.
That was from Harvard, from the plaque.
Oh yeah, that was an extra long plaque.
Kit, your blade.
Oh, the bad guy. The major bad guy.
He's down there.
The guy
Kit.
who's like literally the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't he like 1,000 years old? Or like 500 or something?
Thereabouts.
Zlobs.
Yeah.
Zlobs.
Yeah.
Zlobs. That guy in the coffin is alive?
I mean, sorta. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, I'm done talking to Zlobs. I'll go down there and check it out.
Yep, down the rope you go. Okay, yeah, but beyond the smell of kind of like body odor and like 10 degrees hotter, the thing that is just kind of giving you the willies is the fact that as an initiate in the Order of the Mound, you have a very particular sense of kind of magical effects. It's interesting because you like make some eye contact with Morgan and it's like, is this place swimming with bad magic? And Morgan's like, yeah, it is. Like you both just kind of get there, like you just naturally sense these things.
Got it.
And yeah, it's kicking out like a space heater from that coffin.
Can I peek inside?
So Zlobs kind of half gets off the coffin and like with most of his body weight still on it, kind of like cracks open the side and you kind of put your flashlight in there and ooh, yeah, it's a skeleton wearing like gray prison clothes.
Hey, Stanley, Zlobs, kid.
Yeah.
I'm if you open it up just a little more, I can try to. I have pretty good sight on it from up here, and I can try to stun it. Whatever's in there.
Okay.
I think Bix, I think this is the thing where all that magic is coming from. I think this is the guy the construction workers are charmed by right now.
So it needs to. I was just thinking I could stun it and then we could take care of him. But I don't really know how we take care of something that strongly magic.
Use the sword.
What, Stanley?
Use the sword on it.
His own sword?
Yeah, that's like poetic.
Poetic.
Yeah.
You're a very poetic person, Kit Schmidt.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to use the sword on him.
Yeah, a stun and a sword.
Yeah, I will give you Bix, give me a 2d6 plus cool.
9.
All right, you're going to get +1 Kit on this roll. So this is going to be a kick some butt roll. You're going to get +1 from Bix, and you're going to get +1 because this is what you should be doing.
Okay, and just real quick, a couple of questions. Would you call this an old-fashioned weapon?
Doesn't get more old-fashioned than a curved horse sword.
Okay, so I am skilled in ancient fighting arts, so I actually will get another +1 for that, I believe.
+1, yeah, all right.
Or is
Call
that
me
just to the harm?
It's just to the harm, but because ancient fighting arts is pretty cool and appropriate, we're going to go ahead and push it towards the roll.
Cool. And just one more question. I did use a magic spell to get down here. Because I am technically a mystic, I believe I also get a +1 to my next roll. Would this be sort of an applicable roll to add my mystic skills to? Okay, cool. Just
+1 mystic, +1 ancient fighting arts, +1 because this is what you should be doing, +1 from Bix, and then you have a tough of 1, so you're going to go ahead and roll 2d6 and add 5 to it.
Great. Okay, great. Just making sure you and I had the same math on that.
Yeah, it checks out.
Okay, got it. Am I ready to kick this butt?
Please.
Okay.
That will be an 11.
Ooh.
All right. So, for sake of dramatic effect, let me narrate this out. At around this time, as you are all discussing the plan, Zlobs is getting louder and louder with his stage whispers to the point where he's just like full talking. And at this point, you hear above you, "Hey, Carol, is someone down that hole?" "I don't think so. I hear talking from the hole." "There's no one talking from the hole except for those 4 kids that we put down there. But what are they doing talking? They should just be hanging out." "Well, I don't know. Someone go down and check." And all of a sudden, like, construction workers are starting to, like, slide down the side. Is this blurry to anybody else? And then they're starting to become aware that something is very wrong. And at this point, Kit, you've been talking and getting a sense. It's like, okay, I'm going to stun her. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then, like, you all kind of watch Kit, like, start saying less and less and, like, focusing more and more. And, like, she takes a step back and she, like, kind of wraps her hand in bandages and, like, draws the saber out and, like, holds it out. And then with this, like, swift, like, sprinting across water move, kind of, like, runs across the crypt, just as Zlobs opens up the coffin, the skeleton immediately lunges up. And at this point, Kit does a flip and cleaves its skull in half. There is a puff of powder blue light. The sword and the skeleton explode into smoke. And there's like just kind of this great ringing of the room. All of you then just kind of instinctually look up as the construction workers are starting to like, pull back enough so that they can jump in, and you're all like, well, all right, there's going to be some kind of fight down here. And they're all looking down, and one of them actually, Ben, is it Ben McMahon? Yes. Ben McMahon looks in. Holy heck, you folks are in a hole.
Help.
Yeah, all right, come on, let's get you out of this hole. And yeah, with that, you are all hoisted out of the hole. And you all sit around. As these construction workers' minds are freed from influence, they realize, oh my God, we had every intention of just like keeping you down there until we finished building a tower. And they very much apologize and immediately call Blittle League. And within 15 minutes, 4 umpires in power armor hit the scene, as well as a bunch of tactical squads from Tactical Interventions and a couple of people from the Spell Slingers in a consulting role.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
Consultants, wow.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, the infield and you, the outfield, are quickly debriefed and are kind of ushered away while, the various heavily armed and armored authorities talk to these construction workers and collect various artifacts and take blood samples and all that stuff. But yeah, the outfield and you, the infield, are sitting on like a little berm of excavated dirt.
Stanley?
In it is a chunk of the crypt that was broken. Just the part of it that says Conrad Coop and then enemy of.
Should we take this back to our HQ as a trophy?
Yeah, definitely.
Stanley.
Yeah?
I have to go take a phone call, but why don't you take this time to go introduce yourself to Mindy?
We already
To go
know
say
each
hi.
other.
Oh, I'm sorry. To go say hi.
Okay.
Go say hi more. I have to go make a phone call.
Vix, let's pack up the rock with the words on it.
Yeah.
The oh, by the way, one of the folks from, actually it's who would it be from Spell Slinging? Stanford, the emergency guy, is here. He's wearing like a Adidas tracksuit that is covered in runes and sigils, and kind of arcing around him are these like weird little creatures that may be demons. And he's walking forward to you, Stanley, before, like, as this is all happening. Stanley, I'm Stanford. I'm going to need that cravat.
Absolutely.
And he puts it into a Ziploc bag and seals it up, and then drops it into a giant cast iron, bell, which is then hauled away by 2 umpires into a giant armored car.
Kit, I was so worried he was going to be wearing that when he talked to Mindy.
No, me too. I was getting very concerned that he was going to abuse the croissant. I'm glad that they took it away.
Not everyone should have a croissant.
I don't think anyone really should.
Unless it's a chocolate one. Those are
Oh,
delicious.
yeah. We should get one of those tomorrow morning before practice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's talk about this. Mindy is currently scribbling something in one of her books, and she kind of looks up at all of you, and then looks back down into the hole and writes more stuff in the book, and then closes it. Hi, Stanley.
Hi. Miss Mathers?
We'll end it right there. Salem, Massachusetts.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Where else would we go?
Just makes sense. Half the epilogues are in Salem.
Mary says, and good work. You're proving to be quite the asset.
Yes, I got the Kane head from Harvard University, just as you requested.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Also, I have some information about the Tufts incident.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, I know who caused it. But first, I need a guarantee that you're going to get me what I want.
Mary and Martha exchange a look. Guaranteed.
Stanley Handsomepants.
As we expected. Thank you for the confirmation. We'll see you soon. Mary and Martha look at each other. Martha smiles. And they say that the next generation doesn't work as hard.